We've got sophomore Atreyee Hati. Come on up, Atreyee. Give her a round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. Tooley. Good morning, everyone. My name is Atreyee Hati. I'm a sophomore, and I'm presenting an oral speech for you, titled, Are We Dystopian? I'm going to start with a quick question. Just a quick show of hands, please be honest. No one will judge. How many of you have used AI this past month? This past week? Today? At some point, almost everyone in this room had their hands up. I'm sure most of you remember reading Fahrenheit 451 freshman year. If you're a freshman, you probably remember very vividly. We read about a society that chose comfort over challenge, entertainment over thought. Books were banned and simply replaced by fast, flashy distractions that required no real thinking at all. People didn't want to feel confused or uncomfortable, and they didn't want to take on complex ideas, so they just stopped entirely. I'm afraid that Ray Bradbury's writing is beginning to sound all too familiar. All of us know what it's like writing an essay, right? Staring at the blank document or rough draft that your teacher made, trying to come up with an introduction, topic sentence, or anything. What's stopping us from replacing that entire process with just one prompt to AI? Generate me a 2-page essay about whatnot. It's easy, it takes minutes. That's exactly the problem. We don't like thinking anymore. Most of us here are still kids, and don't make perfect, amazing decisions yet. Our brains are still developing. If we choose to take the easier, less strainful path now, which is using AI, then that's what we're bound to do for the rest of our lives. That's all we'll know how to do. I want to ask another question. Raise your hand again. How many of you have read at least one book this semester for school? Okay, yeah, all of us. How about for fun? There's a significant decrease in the hands. Reading has been replaced with phones. The mindless infinite scroll, endless dopamine. Personally, I can't recall seeing a student read a book in the halls anymore. Even thinking about it just feels so unfamiliar. All I see and what you all see are phones and digital watches. The bright blue glare shining into the user's face as if it's a second coming. We're getting used to information that's fast, light, and easy to digest. And because of this, anything that requires real brain power is starting to feel frustrating, daunting. And that's what resorts us to AI, a quick and easy problem solver. Another thing I've noticed is that, bear with me here, music has started to deteriorate. Now, I know that's probably a controversial take for most of you here, and I ask that you listen. Today's songs are about 3.5 minutes long. They're fast and attention-grabbing, and they're about topics that are easy to understand. Breakups, mental state, partying. But music used to be much longer. Music used to be about a fawn's whereabouts in the afternoon, about mystical battles among spirits, about trickery and escape. You could sit down and listen to one piece of music for an hour and find new colors and sensations every minute. In case you can't tell, I'm a fan of concert band music. But seriously, doesn't this decline in quality remind you of how Montag's wife from Fahrenheit 451 listened to short clumps of percussion music that she called music? Doesn't the replacement of books with phones make you feel like books are being hidden or burned? Doesn't the simplicity and easy access of AI remind you of the loss of thinking and curiosity in Bradbury's society? I want to bring you all back to the title of this speech. Are we dystopian? No, not yet at least. AI generates. It responds to what it's given. It's a bunch of automated zeros, ones and zeros after all. But humans are supposed to think, struggle. That's how we're made. The problem in Fahrenheit 451 wasn't just that books and information were being replaced. It was that people stopped caring. We all may be familiar with the idea that AI can never be the same as a human, but rather humans may be turning into AI. We're slowly becoming copy-paste machines and emotionless creatures with short attention spans. If we don't try to think and feel for ourselves, we'll become nothing more than the dull algorithms that we rely on. I ask each of you listening to take these words to heart. As you walk out, let these ideas stay with you. Reflect on the choices we make with AI and allow that to inspire responsibility in each of you. After all, our future is only within our own hands. Thank you.
thank you so much, Atreyee. Yeah, it's a great question where we're at these days for sure. Very relevant. All right. Anybody like to laugh? Anybody have a dad who makes terrible jokes? Who doesn't? Well, we've got two more dads for you this morning who have, well, we'll see what the quality of the jokes are. But last year we started a new event at Writers Expo. Very simple, dad joke competition. And we had two of them. What we've done is we've taken last year's winners and we're going to put them head to head today, okay? Let me introduce them for you. First, the effervescent, bubbly, he's so excited he can barely contain himself. Please welcome from the English department, Mr. Gluskin. And then, legitimately, he told me this morning, you know, winning the state championship in baseball was awesome, but winning this would be even better. From the social studies department, please welcome Mr. Thompson. Here's how this works. It's pretty simple. They each have 5 jokes. They're going to go back and forth. At the end of each joke, hey, do whatever's appropriate. Laugh, groan. I think the only thing we're going to ask is no booing, because that would be not cool. But groan if you want, laugh if you want. At the end, to decide a winner, I'm going to bust out the decibel meter on my phone, and we're just going to see which contestant gets the loudest cheers, okay? Gentlemen, are you ready? The official way to decide who goes first, I think, is rock, paper, scissors. But since you're holding a microphone, do you want to try something else, or are you good with that? All right, let's do it. Best of one. All right, here we go.
All right, here we go. So, what do LHS baseball players and scarecrows have in common? They are outstanding in the field.
What kind of currency is used in outer space? Starbucks.
Why doesn't Coach Goris order his drinks by the glass? He just goes and gets a new pitcher. Got to get the baseball ones out there.
So, in case you hadn't heard, Mr. Thompson was named an IHSA Coach of the Year recently after the baseball team won its state championship. Part of what makes him a great coach is that he holds his players accountable. So, and this is true, what does Mr. Thompson say to his players when they forget their hat at home? No cap.
All right. Why did the donut not only taste good, but felt good too? It kept getting glazed.
What do peas, the vegetable, love listening to on their commutes to work? Podcasts.
All right. Why did the kitchen faucet get invited to Paris Fashion Week? It had the coolest drip.
What kind of lure do you use to catch an angry fish? Rage bait.
Last one, everybody. What do my dad jokes and other teams' shortstops and second basemen have in common? They're mid.
Okay, this last one, I have to give credit to my 9-year-old daughter because she came up with this, so I'm just using her material. Might be the best one. What do two angry people on opposite sides of a cow say to each other? We have beef between us.
All right, let's get you guys warmed up. Give them both a round of applause, please. Decibel meter. If you think Mr. Thompson should be the champ of champions, make some noise. It's pretty good. If you think Mr. Gluskin should be the champ, make some noise. One of you capped out with a number that was your sophomore year in high school, 96. The other one broke 100. Congratulations. And actually, I forgot to mention, we have a prize. Dad jokes are how I roll. Congratulations, Mr. Gluskin. It's a large, because he is large and in charge, as we all know. All right, next up, we're going to throw some music your way. So we've got in the building a man who, on a regular basis, not only plays, but also writes music, and he's going to share some of his songs with you today, as well as some other stuff concerning his writing process and so forth. Please welcome Mr. Cam Wieczorek.
How's everybody doing today? Woo! All right, happy Thursday. Let's hear it again for Mr. Gluskin and Mr. Thompson. Those were some good jokes to start our morning. Round of applause. Woo! So I'm Mr. Wieczorek. I teach math here. We just got done with some jokes. I feel like a nice smooth transition to some music. I can't let this go without telling at least one math joke. Is that okay? Okay, if you know the answer to this, don't shout it out. You guys know why was 6 afraid of 7? Haha, 6, 7. Because 7, 8, 9, right? Well, this is the updated joke. Why did 4 not ask out 5? You guys ready for it? Because he was too squared. Too scared? Okay, I promise that's my only joke. So I'm really here to talk about music today. I grew up playing the piano when I was little, and I always took an interest in music, and I feel like I picked up guitar a little bit early on, just playing like basic chords, but my real passion for music started during COVID. You guys remember that time when we were quarantined at home at this point, it's 5 years ago? It's been a while. Is it actually 6? Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're in 2026, wow. So, that period at home, I was bored, and I don't know, I think I took an interest in running a lot, and I ended up running too much, and I ended up getting a stress fracture in my shin, so I was stuck in a boot on the couch, quarantined at home, and I decided this was a good opportunity to pick up my guitar and just try to get better at playing the guitar, singing and playing at the same time, and so I started doing that, and I started picking up some more challenging guitar pieces to push myself, and I ended up starting I had a YouTube channel that I used primarily to post silly math songs that I made for students, so that's kind of how my songwriting process started, is I would try to take popular songs like on the radio, like, Don't Stop Believin' or things like that, and spin the lyrics to be about math. And so that was my original like songwriting, and then during COVID, I kind of pushed myself to get more into more serious songwriting, and so I think that summer is when I wrote my first song, and it's a challenge because as a math person, I'm used to like formulas and things like that, so it was working the other side of my brain, and it pushed me to be creative, which I feel like how many people you guys ever have a hard time like feeling like being creative? it takes a lot of perseverance, and it can be frustrating at times. So the first go at it, I would get frustrated, but eventually, my typical process is I like to sit down with an instrument first, whether it be the guitar or the piano, and just see if I can come up with anything cool, any cool riffs, any cool chords that might come my way, and then I try to develop the lyrics later. And so I'm going to share some songs with you today, and I'd say a good amount of those came from figuring out rhythm first and then developing lyrics, some of them quicker than others. Some of them were written very quickly, some of them took a little bit more time to write. But my general process is I like to kind of take it to the instrument first and see if I can find something that sounds catchy, and then I try to make the words kind of fit that rhyme scheme or that rhythm. So I know everyone's a little bit different. I know some people songwriters like to write the words first and then try to attach a rhythm to it later. So it's kind of interesting. That's what I love about the writing process, is that everyone's process is different. So I'm going to share a few songs with you guys. You guys ready to hear some music? Yeah. Woo, okay. All right. So, and this is not necessarily in the order I wrote these, but the first one that I'm going to play you, I wrote, I think it was during that COVID year. I think I wrote it later after that, maybe during that summer. And it was my first stab at trying to write a song on the guitar. And I was competent at that point enough to know a lot of chords. And, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to write a song on the guitar. So typically, I'd never tried this before. So how do you write a song on the guitar if you've never tried? You pick up the guitar and just try to start hitting some chords and see what sounds good. So I was like, okay. That sounds like every song on the radio, right? It's most of the songs use those same types of chords. So I'm like, I want something a little bit different. So I kind of just tried experimenting around and playing around on the guitar, kind of like a little playground. So I hit some chords. Do any of those sound any good? Not really. So I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, okay, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. And then eventually it's, when I said this takes time and patience, but sometimes a chord just hits you right. So I was on this chord, which is an F. It's a nice sounding chord, right? And then I just lifted my middle finger, not in that way. And that was a nice open chord. I was like, ooh, I like the sound of that. So once you find something that you feel like sounds good, you're motivated to keep going. Would you agree? So kind of just... So I came up with that, which took about a half hour, and I was really excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I came up with my first guitar riff. So I sent it to a couple of friends, and I was like, what do you guys think? And they're like, it sounds good. What are the lyrics to the song? And I was like, oh, well, I don't have those yet. So that was the next stage. And so one thing I like to do to clear my mind or to think a little bit is go on a run. Any runners out there? I like to run. Yeah, it's a nice way to just kind of clear your mind and just kind of decompress. So I went for a run. And about a mile into my run, I was on a trail and I saw a mile marker that told me I hit the 1 mile mark. And I don't know, a lyric just kind of came to me in my head, and I think the mile marker sparked it. And it was, memories are the mile markers of your life. And I was like, oh, this could actually kind of go with the song maybe if I kind of think about it. So I actually brainstormed the song in my head on that run. I think it was about a 5 or 6 mile run. And at least got the majority of the song kind of pieced together on that run, and I came back home and I kind of took it to the guitar and at least got my first attack at it. So it took some time to kind of polish up, but sometimes exercise can help you do things that are hard, I guess is my moral of the story for that. So the song is called Won't Look Back, and it's kind of about pushing back the bad times in your life and focusing on finding a better future. So I hope you like it. I'm on the wrong capo. Give me one second. So many paths to choose from, they're not aligned. Staring off into the distance at at simpler times. Flashbacks can last forever, but I need time to reminisce about what I miss. Memories are the mile markers of my life. I keep on running 'cause I haven't won the fight. Sometimes I trip over my own past, but I move along and I push on forward. And I won't look back. It's all about decision and compromise. Wanting answers to the questions, but no reply. I'll stop the clock and take a minute, hoping for a first glance at a second chance. Memories are the mile markers of my life. I keep on running 'cause I haven't won the fight. Sometimes I trip over my own past, but I move along and I push on forward. And I won't look back. And I won't look back. And now I'm stuck at a crossroads and I can't decide. Sometimes the hardest thing to take is your own advice. Memories are the mile markers of my life. I keep on running 'cause I haven't won the fight. Memories are the mile markers of my life. I keep on running 'cause I haven't won the fight. Sometimes I trip over my own past, but I move along and I push on forward. And I won't look back. And I move along and I push on forward. Thank you. Thank you. And I kind of like to end the song there because it's like you're going to push on forward and you're not going to look back. So you know, if you're waiting for that like last lyric to end it, I like to push on forward and not look back. So yeah. So that was my first song I wrote on guitar and was motivating enough to keep going. So I'd say I've been doing this now, like songwriting and playing, music gigs and stuff like that for the last 5 or 6 years, I would say. I've learned a lot from it, and just I feel like my songwriting has gone in different directions, different types of songs. So I'm gonna play you something a little bit softer too. This song I wrote, let's see, I'm gonna be turning 32 in April. So I wrote the song when I turned 30. Every big birthday milestones, right? Like for you guys, like where are my seniors at? Okay, 18's a big one, right? 18, 21, every 10 years, usually people celebrate the big 30 or the big 40. And so my 30th birthday was coming up, and I'm thinking to myself, like, what have I done so far with my life? What do I still want to accomplish? And it just starts to get you thinking about just like choices you've made, and things you've done, things you haven't done, and kind of what are your goals for the future still. So I don't know, I kind of put together a song, and it's not just based on that, but just the idea of like, there's still things that I still want to do with my life, and there's still things that I'm frustrated with in my life, and so I took it to the guitar. This song took a little bit longer to write. It wasn't done on a run. It took a few months to kind of put together. But I don't know, the message of the song, I think, is like a lot of times there's voices in our head that are kind of holding us back, and trying to kind of push out those voices and say like, you've got your path, and you've got to, kind of like the last song, you got to kind of move on forward, and you've got to figure out what you want to do with your life and not let those voices in your head hold you back. Does that kind of make sense? So yeah, I don't know, it's kind of hard to put into words, but that's what the songs are for, right? It's a way to lyrically express what the song is about. So this is what came out of it. It's called Start of My Everyday. I said this one I think I wrote this one about 2 years ago, so it's a little more recent. Alarm goes off in my head and it's 4:45. Head rests on a pillow, but I can't unwind. God, give me the fuel I need to follow my heart. Got my foot on the gas, but I'm still stuck in park. And I'm trying to find a shelter to hide, but these voices inside keep calling every day. They're calling out my name, but their welcome's overstayed. And I long for them to go. My mind is not their home. I wish that it wasn't the way. This is the start of my everyday. Coming up on the start of my next set of 10. So many hopes and dreams that have yet to begin. Should I go find a pen and try to write them all down? 'Cause God knows if I don't, they'll get lost in the clouds. And I'm trying to find a purpose in life, but these voices inside keep calling every day. They're calling out my name, but their welcome's overstayed. And I long for them to go. My mind is not their home. And though I wish that it wasn't the way, this is the start of my everyday. Maybe in time these voices will subside, and I find some peace of mind. They keep calling every day. They're calling out my name, but their stay, and I long for them to go. My mind is not their home, and though I wish that it wasn't the way, this is the start of my everyday. Oh, oh, this is the start of my everyday. Thank you. Yeah, and all of these songs, I've written about, I think, 8 songs at this point, so they're all on Spotify for free to stream and listen to. So if you like what you're hearing, I have a YouTube channel. It's Cam Wise Music, and Spotify's Cam Wise. It's W-I-Z-E. So yeah, if you like original music and are looking to listen to something that you liked, that you heard, I do have stuff out there. So I like to share it with other people, and I think it's just a lot of fun to share your creative process with other people. So another song, I'm going to kind of pick up the tempo a little bit. This song I wrote back in 2022. We got what time? Yeah. And it was 10 years since I had been out of high school. I graduated in 2012 and was just thinking about like high school memories and just things that I remembered back in high school, like trying to get to class on time and carrying all my books from one end of the school to the other, going to homecoming, going to prom and things like that. And at the time I had a class of seniors, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to write a song about high school memories and blend the ideas of my own high school experiences with my current group of students. Now being a high school teacher, I thought it'd be cool to get the student perspective on, 10 years later, what are things that current high schoolers would want to remember. And I asked staff members too, like, what are things that you guys remember from your high school years? And so kind of from polling everybody and taking a collective group of, what are the big standouts from your high school years? What are the things you remember 10 years down the line? I put together a song, and it's called Delivered to Your Doorstep. And the reason I titled it that is because when I was writing it, an Amazon package was delivered to my doorstep. So you never know when a good song title is going to hit you in the right moment. So for we're the seniors out there. Let's do a little raise of hands, seniors. This is probably just a nice song to kind of think back on your high school years. And those of you that are not seniors yet, you've got a lot to look forward to of things to come as well. So just enjoy the memories while you can, because your high school years go fast. So this is called Delivered to Your Doorstep. Times that you laughed, and times that you cried, and there are times that you wish you could just hit rewind. 10 years from now, you won't recall that one equation you couldn't solve. Or that paper that you stayed up writing all night long. Go to the flash drive in your mind, and you'll find making plans with friends on Friday nights, running through the halls to get to class on time. The day that your diploma finally arrived, hidden inside. When memories delivered to your doorstep. Dream of the past, of moments that last, and you back 10 years from now, you won't recall hydrogen has just one outer shell. Or the day and month that started the War of 1812. Go to the flash drive in your mind, and you'll find coffee runs to Starbucks during lunch, chatting with your favorite teachers to catch up. The day that your diploma finally arrived hidden inside, the memories delivered to your doorstep. Go now, and just go now, and just go now, oh just go. And go to the flash drive in your mind, and you'll find the first slow dance with the one you liked, cheering in the stands under the Friday night lights. The day that your diploma finally arrived hidden inside, the memories delivered to your doorstep. Memories delivered to your doorstep. Thank you. So hopefully that brought back some nostalgic memories, staff from your high school years, and seniors. I'm sure a lot of that stuff hopefully hits home. So enjoy your years while you last, especially freshmen. You got some time, and it's going to be a great 4 years. Just some last comments, and then if we have time, Mr. Toole, you have time for questions too? 4 minutes? Okay, just real quick, I just wanted to say a couple things about writing. If you're ever writing, whether it be a story, a song, whatever, don't give up, because what might seem like a failed attempt on one day could be a silver lining for a different day. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've picked up my guitar, played some chords, and I'm like, ugh, it's just not happening today, and I quit for the day. But then I'm like, I'm gonna save what I had, and I'm gonna play it on a different day, and sometimes the notes just hit you differently, or maybe the words hit you differently. One thing I always like to do is if I find something that I think might have success at some point, is I just record myself and I put it in a Google Drive. And even if I don't know what to do with it on that specific day, maybe a week later, maybe 6 months later, I can tell you, maybe even a year and a half later, you go back to that song, and whether it be the setting you're in, the mood you're in, or just the time in your life that you're in, sometimes that song can actually develop even if it didn't develop from the start, if that makes sense. So don't give up, persevere, and don't rush the process either, because good things take time. So I think I'll end with that for advice. Does anybody have questions or anything I can answer? Yeah. I started taking piano lessons when I was, I believe, 8, and I took lessons, I think, for about 7 or 8 years, and I still play. Yeah, piano's my. I love the guitar, but I'm partial to the piano. Piano's my favorite instrument, and I've written one song on the piano. I want to try to write some more, but yeah, I love the keys. Just has a special place in my heart. So yeah. In the back, I think I see a hand. Yeah. Tips to give someone to start writing their own music. I think my biggest piece of advice would be, even if you think it's not something that people are gonna like or that is gonna be catchy to other people, you have no idea how it could actually reach somebody and send, like, you don't know what they're going through and how it could impact them. So I would say any ideas you have, write down. Kind of like I said with instruments, do you play an instrument by any chance? Piano, okay, yeah, so I would say, even if it's just melodies on the piano, if you let your hands just go around the keyboard and you find something that's catchy, I would record yourself, like record your hand playing it so that you can go back to it later. Even if you don't know what to do with it, again, take the time to actually build upon it at a pace that makes sense for you. So it's not all gonna come together all the time in one day or 1 hour or 30 minutes. Sometimes that song might take 6 months to write, and that's okay. So take it slow, especially if you've never done it before. Take the process slow and just, I would say write down, record, anything that sounds catchy to you, anything, if you like to journal, I would say journaling is a great idea too, because a lot of times people want to develop lyrics first before they come up with their rhythm. So if you have some type of poem or something you've written, that can always get turned into a song. So I don't know, did it help answer your question a little bit? Awesome. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate you guys coming out and for the support. So thank you. And if you have questions at all, if you don't want to ask right now, you're always welcome to stop by my room. I'm in 2112, and my email is, my last name is really hard to spell, so it's probably easier to just look it up, but I'm always happy to talk music and answer questions. So thank you guys.